Benji's going to shave his hair, so we've got to get there.
Benji will go bald.
This will not happen.
If we get to right, new goal. If we set a goal of
If we get 1 million subs, I'll shave my hair.
Hello and welcome back to the Cricket Nerds podcast. I am James and I am joined by Benji. How are you doing, mate?
Very good. IPL prediction special. I'm here for it.
This is a big one. And I'm also joined by Zach. How are you doing, Zach?
I'm so ready for this.
Never been more ready, ever.
Never been more ready.
So, we're going to give our predictions for the IPL table. This is a big one. So, we're going to kick it off with a big man. Zach, kick us off, mate.
Right, let's just go for it. I'm going to start with the bottom, going to go all the way to the top. And the team that I think is going to finish in last place is one of the new teams, Gujarat Titans. I think they're missing a lot of key players, that they've not got many all-rounders, and I think that's going to cost them. 9th place, Sunrisers Hyderabad. They're just missing lower order batting, and that is so crucial in the IPL, especially when you compare their team to other teams. And we roasted them quite heavily in our podcast. Check that one out. 8th place, I'm going Rajasthan Royals. I think they've got some exciting players. However, I just think they're missing in the death bowling department, and I think that's going to cost them in most games. 7th place, I've gone for Kolkata Knight Riders. They're missing Indian bowling. They're missing experience in their Indian bowling, but they have some very good overseas players. So that's what's going to keep them from finishing in the bottom 3. Delhi Capitals at number 6. They've got some good batting firepower. They've got Rishabh Pant. They've got Shikhar. No, they haven't got Shikhar Dhawan. They used to have Shikhar Dhawan. I'm thinking of someone else. But again, they're lacking all-rounders, just like Gujarat Titans. And I think, as James has said in multiple videos, all-rounders are key. Punjab Kings at 5th. Good top order batting. Chennai Super Kings at 4. The experience. Number 3, Royal Challengers Bangalore, obviously. They're going to finish in the top 4. I just think our fast bowling is so good. Mumbai Indians are going to finish 2nd with their awesome top 3 and Jasprit Bumrah. Need I say more? And Lucknow Super Giants, a new team, but I do think they're going to finish 1st. And I think they've just got from 1 to 11. They've got some awesome players. They've got great balance, and that's going to carry them all the way to the top. KR Rahul at the 4. So yeah, that's my predicted table.
There's some big predictions there.
Big predictions.
I'm happy to go next.
Go on.
And mine starts the same as yours, Zach. So right at the bottom of the pile, I've got Gujarat Titans. Again, I think it's just the balance. They've got a lot of good players, but I think losing Jason Roy at the top of the order was a big hit. And I don't see how you can get a balanced squad. I think either they end up with a really long tail or they end up with too many batsmen. Sunrisers Hyderabad, I've got in 9. Their batting isn't strong enough. And again, they're going to struggle to get a balance. I've got Mumbai Indians down at number 8. And that's because of their bowling. I just don't think they have the bowlers. They've got Jasprit Bumrah, but I don't rate any of their other bowlers enough to win them games.
Yeah.
In 7, I've got RCB, just because of their relatively long tail. I think you're right, they've got brilliant bowlers, but I think their tail's a bit too long, and I think they could end up with quite slow starts to their innings. In 6th place, I've got Lucknow Super Giants. Again, I think this is an issue with their bowling. You know, they lost Mark Wood, who was a bit of a differential. They've replaced him with the, I think it's Blessing Muzaribani, or however you say his name, which he's all right, but he's no Mark Wood, and he's not good enough, I don't think. So yeah, I think Lucknow are just lacking a bit of experience there. In at 5, I've got Delhi Capitals, because I think the unavailability of their players at the start is going to hit them quite hard. And yeah, I think they could struggle there. At number 4, I've got Punjab Kings. I think it's a very strong squad, but the only reason I've got them just scraping by to get in is just, they're going to have to fiddle with that balance a bit. Number 3, I've got Chennai Super Kings, and I've just written the note of XP. They're mucho experience, and I think they're going to do really well, but it does depend on Deepak Chahar. Second place, I've got Rajasthan Royals. I think they've got a really good blend of experience and talent, and I think they've got a really good balance. So I think they're going to do well. And in first place, I think Kolkata Knight Riders. I think they've got an excellent balance. I think they've got a lot of all-rounders and they've got a lot of experience. So I could see them winning a lot of games. I don't know what you think, Benj.
I'm really struggling with my predictions this year because I've got my bottom 3 locked in and I've got my top 3 locked in. But it's the last playoff spot. I have got absolutely no idea. My bottom 3 is very similar to what we've had. So Gujarat Titans, I'm very sorry to say, but I just don't think they've done enough in the auction. I think especially now losing Jason Roy as well, they're in big trouble. Sunrisers I've got is my 9th place for all the reasons that you said previously. They haven't really got that star bowler, and I think they're just missing a bit in their overseas player, and I just think they're going to be missing a bit in that middle order. It's pretty non-existent. I think similar for Rajasthan too. They are, and I have them in 7th place because they rely a little bit too much on their star players, and everyone else just sort of goes around them. It'll be interesting to see them with Trent Bolt in this year, but you normally see Trent Bolt at the start of the innings. They haven't really got any death bowling apart from, I don't know, they've not really got any death bowling, have they? Let's be honest. 7 through to 4, I can't place it, but in those in that mix, I've got CSK, RCB, Punjab, and KKR. I think they're going to be our mid-table for this year because all of those teams have got something that makes them stand out, but missing something. So CSK, I would have had higher had it not been for the Deepak Chahar dropout. I just don't think CSK have that cover for the Indian side, that Indian pace attack, with losing both Thakur and Chahar. I think RCB have got fantastic all-rounders, fantastic overseas players. But as we talked about in our podcast on RCB, there's just something missing, probably in the batting. As we've said, they've got a very long tail. I think KK have got a fantastic team with their spin attack, but they're missing a little bit in terms of an Indian pace bowler. And I think they're going to struggle with their balance for their overseas players. And Punjab have arguably got the best opening top order in the league, but they're missing a few players at the start, and Punjab always take a bit to get going. So they're my mid-table. Who knows? That's a mix. 3, I've got Mumbai. I just can't see an IPL where Mumbai don't make playoffs. They're annoying like that. Rohit Sharma is this genius captain. He looks in amazing nick at the minute, and they've got real star players in there like Jasprit Bumrah. I think in terms of their middle order, I think we might see quite a lot of Tim David this year. I think that's my prediction for Mumbai. He's had a fantastic PSL and prior to that BBL. So I think he's definitely a one to watch. Tim David, he's uncapped for Australia, but he's great with the bat and can bowl a few overs of spin too. In my 2nd place, I've got Lucknow. I think they've done fantastically. They are going to miss out on Mark Wood, and you've said Blessings Muzarabina's come in to replace him, but they've also got Chamira, the Sri Lankan fast bowler, in there who can bowl over 90 miles an hour consistently. So I think that's a easy slip in for the Mark Wood role. I think with Quinton de Kock, Jason Holder, Chamira, and Stoinis, you've got a really good mix there. Ravi Bishnoi and Kara Hall in that mix as well. You've just got some excellent star players. So I can see them finishing second. And I've got Delhi as my number one spot. I think they had a fantastic auction. There's nothing to really complain from Delhi's point of view. KS Barrett's great, was a great pickup for like some cover and wicket keeping and batting. Mustafiz Rahman was a great pickup. David Warner will open the innings, I imagine, with Prithvi Shaw, so it'll be good to see that opening part. I just think Delhi have got a very good balanced side. And yeah, so I think Delhi might come out on the top in the group stages.
So we've got some pretty wide-ranging views. For example, where me and Benji have Mumbai Indians versus where James is placing Mumbai Indians. And they're probably things that will come to fruition as the tournament goes ahead, and some of these things will come to light whether we're right or not. And that'll be interesting because we're not similar in our opinions. Then someone's going to do well in their predictions, and some of us aren't. I think one of the things with our orders is we've all said, look, now Super Giants have a very strong team. So overall, I think we're pretty certain that they're going to do well. So hopefully they do well. Otherwise, we'll look pretty silly. And we've all said that Gujarat Titans, the other new team, have done really badly in the auction, not picking up enough star players, especially with Jason Roy missing out. They're going to probably struggle. But it'll be interesting to see what happens in between there. So other predictions then. We've got the orange cap, which is the player who we think is going to score the most runs in the tournament. So, James, who do you think is going to be the highest run scorer in this year's IPL?
The highest run scorer will be KL Rahul. He has been. He's got a knack of getting a lot of runs for a team that doesn't qualify for the playoffs. And I think that's going to be exactly what happens with Lucknow. I think he's going to get a hell of a lot of runs. I think he's going to get almost all of the runs. And I just think Lucknow will miss out on the playoffs. So KL Rahul for orange cap is my prediction.
You don't think KL Rahul's got, because for Punjab last year and the years before, he didn't really have anyone going with him. After Nick Pooran coming in at 4, there wasn't really anyone for Punjab. Whereas you look at the Lucknow Super Giants team right now, they've got batting throughout. So do you think it would literally just be KL Rahul scoring the runs for them then?
I think just because he opens the batting and because Quinton de Kock starts relatively slowly, I think it'll be Quinton de Kock rotating strike to KL Rahul. Rahul playing the way he wants to, which is just incredibly. And I think he could just get runs upon runs. Yeah.
But to be fair, I've seen a stat which is since the start of 2018, he's hit more runs than anyone else in the IPL. And his average is 56.62. And if you compare that with the other players in the top 5, they're all averaging below 40 and they've played more innings than him. So yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, and I've got him as my orange cap as well. I think he's going to score those runs.
Can I just say now, he's my orange cap as well.
Yeah. He's also, because the orange cap usually goes to someone who bats in the top 3. It rarely goes to anyone below there. And when you look at the quality of the players, there are some excellent players who, if I think batted higher up the order, say Rishabh Pant, he could potentially be an orange cap performer. But yeah, he's going to play every game. He's top of the order. So yeah, I think it's going to be him. Purple cap then, Benj. Let's go to you. Who do you think is going to take the most wickets?
I'm undecided. Again, surprise, surprise. I've got either Jasprit Bumrah or Yuvendra Chahal. They're my two. I think Chahal will probably be spearheading the spin attack in his new team in Rajasthan. He had a great year for RCB last year, and we've seen how good spin is. But you can't discount Jasprit Bumrah, especially as the vast majority of games are going to be played at his home ground of the Wankhede Stadium. He knows that ground. He takes so many wickets there. He's a frightening bowler. So it's going to be one of those two, I think.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Jasprit Bumrah, based on the fact that, well, James said something about the fact that there's inexperienced bowling. There isn't that many bowlers for the Mumbai Indians, which means that Jasprit Bumrah's got even more on his shoulders. And he doesn't seem like the sort of person who feels pressure. He seems very relaxed, very calm. And yeah, I think he's going to take loads of wickets this season. And it's a safe bet to call him because he's always there or thereabouts. He's normally in the top 5 top wicket takers. So yeah, that's who I'm going for as well.
I'm actually going a different direction to you two. I would have gone for Bumrah if the rest of the bowling attack for Mumbai was a bit stronger. But I just think because they're less experienced, a batsman can target the other players and then just sort of see Bumrah out in the same way that Rashid Khan didn't, consistently get the purple cap for Sunrisers, despite being one of the best bowlers. It was just because the rest of the players, were taking all the heat. So batsmen felt that it could just block out 4 overs of Rashid Khan. So I think that the purple cap is going to be Rashid Khan. I think he's going to take quite a few wickets. Even though I've got Gujarat right at the bottom of the pile, I think, they're going to lose games because they don't have the all-rounders. But that is because of, more because I'm expecting them to choose a relatively long tail. I still think they've got good bowlers there. Like Lockie Ferguson is really, really good. And so is Rashid Khan. So yeah, Rashid Khan is my prediction.
Cool. So then we get on to emerging player of the year, which is an interesting one because there are various qualifications that you have to meet. You have to be younger than 25 or 26 or something like that. And you can't have played 25 IPL matches from the start of the IPL. So you have to have played fewer, and you can't have played 50 ODIs. That might be too much. I don't know, something around there, or 10 ODIs, something like that. So there are some qualifications that you have to meet. So I have looked through the players and have thought who could actually fit the emerging player who would actually do really well. And I think the emerging player is going to be Ravi Bishnoi. He's just such a good leg spinner. And yeah, I think he's going to get loads of wickets. What do you think, Benj? Who are you going for?
I would have said Ruturaj Gaikwad, but he's not eligible.
He got it last year, didn't he?
And he got it last season. But he's also now played too many T20s. I want to go out with a one to watch.
Benji's one to watch.
A Benji's one to watch. And I think specifically at Punjab, because Punjab were missing a few players at the start of the season, Raj Bauer, under 19s, played in the World Cup, played fantastically in the World Cup. I think if he gets his shot and if he delivers on it at the start of that season, I think we could see him do great things. It may be a bit too early on in his career for that. So maybe this might be 1, 2 or 3 years time that we have him. The other obvious one is Venkatesh Iyer, but I don't know if he's allowed anymore because he's now played for India. But he would be my other shout aside from Raj Bauer.
Very strong predictions. I like the Raj Bauer shout. I'm a big fan of that. Now, a lot of me is saying go for Ravi Bishnoi because I do think he's absolutely class. Yeah, I think he's absolutely class. However, I think that someone else is going to take the mantle of emerging player, and that's going to be Yashavi Jaiswal for Rajasthan Royals. I think, if he's opening the batting with Jos Buttler or Devdutt Padikkal, either one, I can see him doing really well. I can see him getting a lot of runs because he looks quite good. So, you know, he's a bit of an out there shout. He's a bit more interesting, I think. So Jaiswal for me.
Nice. So the last thing is the PayTM Fair Play Award.
Oh, the most important one.
It's the most important one because you know that when you win it, it's just a pride thing, isn't it? You know that you were better behaved than all the other teams. And every year it goes to Chennai because of Dhoni. So it's natural that I'm going to go somewhere else. And I'm going to go with the beloved Royal Challengers Bangalore, based on the fact that Kohli is no longer captain. we have the calm Duplessis, who is a very well-respected man, and he will lead us to the champion of fair play. So there we go.
I just think everything Faf Duplessis does gets undone by Virat Kohli.
Maybe, yeah. I just think Faf Duplessis is just a calm, level head. But I'm just hoping, really. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we think?
My money's definitely on CSK. As long as Dhoni stays above ground, he will get the Fair Play Award. He won't even have to be playing in the IPL to get it. So yeah, no. CSK is the safe bet for that one.
The safe bet CSK. I'm going with Sunrisers Hyderabad because Kane Williams is a very mild-mannered individual, and they're not going to win anything else this year. So let's throw him a bone. Sunrisers.
Well, they're pretty much all the predictions. But now it's your chance to make some predictions because the cricket nerds are starting a fantasy league. So this is your chance to, show your IPL knowledge off. So we'll leave a link to it in the description. But join us. You'll be taking us on. We will win because we are the ultimate cricket nerds. But you are welcome to try and beat us. Other than that, please follow our social medias. We are at Cricket Nerds Pod. Please subscribe. We're so very close to our goals. In fact, by the time this podcast gets released, we may have already reached 100 subscribers. So please, just subscribe. Why not? We're a growing community.
Benji's going to shave his hair, so we've got to get there.
Benji will go bald.
This will not happen.
If we get to right, new goal. If we set a goal of,
if we get 1 million subs, I'll shave my hair.
No. If we get 1,000, if we got 1,000 subs by the end of the year, would you shave your head?
No, I'll do a for 100 subs special. I'll do a what's in my kit bag for 2022.
Oh goodness.
that would be our longest video.
The longest video, and we'll lose subs.
This is my third scorebook.
So yeah, other than that, just please comment down below, ask us some questions. We like interacting, and I think that is about it. So we'll see you guys later.